Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today for this week's question and answer video. My name is David. I'm a life coach, and I try to help people heal and recover and grow from different kinds of trauma, mostly emotional trauma, from toxic, abusive, traumatic relationships. So thank you for joining us today. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Thank you. I'm answering questions from last week's video. I do this every single Monday. People are going down into the comment section down there and asking me questions, and I'm answering them in the next video. You guys have questions, please go down there. Ask me anything you want. Just tell us your locations. Let us know where you guys are, and I will answer your question in the next video next Monday. If you think what I'm doing here benefits you or could benefit somebody else, can you please support what I'm doing? You can do that just by pushing a few buttons here. You can vote on the video, the little thumbs up or down. Tell me why, shout out down below there and give us a location or ask me a question. You can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, let you know when I have videos, when they come out. Something I recommend every once in a while is something called Shane's Law Petition. Shane was a victim of a nasty smear campaign, and it went on for a very long time, was very intrusive in all parts of his life, and sadly, he couldn't find help. This is a new and upcoming thing with the internet and social media. Stalking and attacking and smearing is becoming acceptable, and there's not many regulations on it yet. So Shane took his own life, sadly, and somebody that cares for him designed a petition to hopefully start a law here in the United States that prohibits people from doing this, prohibits people from this type of behavior. People are killing themselves, committing suicide a lot from stuff like this. So if you think you want to support this, if you could, follow the link down below. It says Shane's Law Petition. Follow that and just vote. Yes. Just check the little box that you support it. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Let's start this stuff here and now, okay? Thank you very much. Something I like to do every week is make a recommendation to help you grow and heal and recover from different kinds of emotional trauma. Today's topic for these videos are healing from a broken heart. So it's not just trauma, it's healing from broken hearts. What, and you can even use this as kind of what would a normal breakup be like, right? If I felt like my heart was broken and it wasn't trauma or abuse involved, right? I'm just hurt. So I wrote down a few things to just kind of help you, and I will put this down into the description box below. So first thing I suggest doing is you take time off from dating, okay? It is vitally important that we do this. Going right to another person to help heal your wounds, to take your mind off your ex, to keep having sex, to do these things is the absolute beginning of a very dependent relationship. That means that the relationships that you are committing to and investing in right away after a broken heart probably won't work, okay? It's starting off sick. So it is crucially important that we go through this process afterwards, okay? Quite often there's emotional, physical, and chemical reactions in our body that we need to recover from and balance out and feel better about, okay? We have lots of things like nightmares and bad sleep, maybe eating, bad feelings like loneliness, sadness, worthlessness, hopelessness, helplessness, and we ourselves needs to make ourselves feel better and not totally depend on a new person to make us feel better. It won't work, okay? And I've just heard, there's a lot of sayings out there that are pretty sick that I've heard. Get back on the horse and try again. I think the worst one is the best way to get over a guy is get under a new one. No, it's not. No, it's not. That might feel better for a second. Sex can feel good, taking your mind off this what you've been through and your pain and stuff, but it's not going to work. Okay, if we don't process emotions, this stuff will stay open forever. And I see people suffer from this for many, 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 many years and not heal at all. And they tried new relationships and they finally just give up and don't have any with anybody, and they still feel the same way they do. So it doesn't work, okay? This is a time to introspect. This is a time to look at ourselves, look at our lives, and really, just at the beginning, really make ourselves feel better and not depend on somebody else to do that, or drugs, or alcohol, or sex, or gambling, or shopping, okay? Next thing I suggest is talk. Talk. Don't keep this stuff inside. Okay, feelings and thoughts and experiences that we keep all inside by ourselves and not share with anyone else, that's what causes loneliness. Okay, and you know, if any of this you need help with, I highly suggest you talk to a therapist. And if you had abuse and trauma in your relationship, you better talk to a therapist, because there's something that you need to know and need to learn, or this will repeat itself. Okay. Next is, remember, we have to grieve. Okay. And you know, there's lots of different models for grieving. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But realize that there's a lot more that we've lost besides this person or this relationship. So a lot of people say, well, I don't need to grieve my ex. He was lying to me the whole time. Well, I understand that he might have been lying and you believed it and you were tricked and fooled and all this. But what happened was real. It was real. And we are grieving our loss, and we've lost this person. And in these toxic relationships, if it was toxic, that means it took up 80-90% of your time, probably. That's a lot. That's a big loss. Big loss. We also may lose our house. We may lose our job. We may lose belongings. We may lose money. We may lose other relationships because of this relationship. And we've lost our future, right? We've lost our future. We had plans. We were committed. We were going to get married. We were going to have children. We were going to have a house. We were supposed to move over here. We were starting a business. It's all gone. All lost. And we have to grieve and take the time to do this, because these stages of grief is a process that takes time. Okay? Give yourself that time. Next one, I highly suggest, stay off social media. Okay? And I know a lot of people are like, no, I really like it though. That's fine. You do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. All that matters is how you feel. But I promise you, the social media doesn't feel good. And it doesn't feel good after we lose a big relationship in our life. We may be contacted by our ex. We may be checking on our ex. We may be reminded of our ex by somebody else. It keeps us thinking. It keeps us wondering. It keeps us involved in the other person. And it's just toxic. We're going to see things. We're going to see ideal relationships on there that really aren't real. And we're going to feel worse and stuff like this. We may start trying to date on social media and stuff like this. And it's just not healthy. Many other reasons that we should stay off social media. Next thing I recommend is start a relationship with yourself. In these relationships that were toxic and abusive, and even just codependent, or maybe we just gave too much and it wasn't reciprocated, it wasn't equal. We may have compromised who we are. We may have sacrificed and lost who we are from our ambitions and our dreams and our goals and all these things. But we need to start a new relationship with ourself, okay? This is a time that we really love ourselves. We take ourselves on a date. Self-care, okay? Really important. Pursue our self-interest, raise our self-worth. What's really important is that we know how we feel, what we want. We know what we need. We know what we value. And we know our opinion very well. And if you're finding yourself after a relationship is over that you don't know these things very well, then we may not know ourselves very well. And I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you the truth. Nobody can love you until you love yourself. Until you love yourself, you will not allow anybody else to love you. And a healthy person doesn't want to be committed and love somebody that doesn't love themselves, okay? Next thing I recommend is being very mindful. Being very mindful of what you're doing, all right? So we may have a lot to learn from this relationship. And we may be finding ourselves doing the same things, so we're not learning. Right? I've learned to not do this, and this. Those make me bad. And then I find out I'm still kind of doing it. So being very mindful of how we feel, of what we're doing that feels bad and what we do that feels good. And if checking on our ex on social media feels bad, be mindful that we're doing that. Also, force positivity. So quite often a loss causes us to introspect, which is good. And that can lead to depression, okay? It could be situational, it could be long-term. But we have to be mindful of the things that we're doing. And we have, even our thoughts, we have to be mindful of our way of thinking. If we're thinking that people are bad and the world is scary and I'm always going to get hurt and nobody loves me and these kinds of things, that's not going to get you anywhere. Especially if you put stock into that, invest in that, and listen to it and think it's true. So we have to force positivity. We have to fake it till we make it and take baby steps to get where we want to be. But we better know where we want to be. Okay? Last, learn. Learn so we don't repeat. Now, if you were abused or traumatized by somebody else in a relationship, it's not your fault at all. It's not your fault. But let's learn as much as we can about that so we don't do it again. Okay? Mistakes are beautiful. The same ones could lead to our detriment. What happened? What was this all about? What happened? Why did this happen? Why did this person hurt me? What can I do to better protect myself in the future? What was my part in it? What is a healthy relationship, huh? Because if that's what we're really trying to do, let's learn what one is. Instead of just keep trying and failing, trying and failing and trying and failing, we may not even know how to do it. And it's amazing how many people that came out of a very, very toxic relationship where, there's physical abuse and financial exploitation and lots of cheating and lying and betrayal, tons of trauma. And they come out of the relationship and they're like, hey, I'm ready to date again. I'll say, just tell me one thing that a good, healthy relationship consists of. They're like, can't be a narc. No, I said, tell me one good thing that a relationship consists of. Not bad. I could get, you shouldn't be doing heroin, cocaine, alcohol, but what is good? What should you be doing? What does it look like? What does it require? If you don't know that, how can you possibly do it? And so often we put stock into other people to fix us, other people to help us feel better, other people to love us enough to have a good relationship. And when I say love yourself, I mean do the work. Do the work, okay? That's it. I'll put all this down in the description box below if you're interested in reading it again or didn't understand something I said. So let's get into the questions. All I ask, guys, if you ask me a question, could you please tell us your locations, just tell us where you are. You can be general. Don't be specific. I don't want your personal information on here. Tell me the planet you're on, the hemisphere, the continent, country, state, city. Please. Thank you. All right. First question is from La Di La Di Da. Don't know where you're from. Recently, my narcissist contacted me and is trying to break up my relationship of 3 years with my boyfriend. I block him on any social media I can when he makes fake accounts, but he makes me wonder if he might go further. Should on alert? I think you meant to say, should I be on alert? No, I don't think you should be on alert. What good does that do? That's like just sitting there and waiting and anticipating it. Why? He can't really do anything. And when we have somebody who traumatizes us or abuses us and scares us, and then that relationship halts and we have no more communication with them, if we don't heal, a lot of times these fears get bigger and bigger in our head and they get scarier. If you and your new boyfriend of 3 years has a solid relationship, he can't break you up, right? What's he going to do? Tell him something you did bad? Who cares? That was in the past. Tell him that you're doing something now that's bad? Would your boyfriend really put stock or even listen to your ex? Any healthy person would not. I'm sorry that he's making you feel this way, though. So get rid of your social media. Turn it off. I think out of the few hundred people I've told to do that, specifically one-on-one, I think definitely less than 5 have done it. And you don't have to delete it. Just pause it, turn it off. Why is that so important to you? I've never had a good answer. Oh, it's how I keep in contact with my friends. Well, there's a phone. Just sending memes and talking crap about people and politics and social, because that's all you do on social media, right? Anything you do on social media, you can do on a phone, right? And if you don't want them to have your phone number, they're really not your friend. Social media will be damaging. It can be damaging to you and your progress and your health. I highly suggest to do it. Because if you're wondering if you should be on high alert, meaning you're scared and he keeps bothering you on fake accounts, just delete your social media account. What do you need it for? Tell me if you can. Let me know. Let me know why you can't, if you can't. And let me know what you use it for, that you can't turn it off for a little while. Stuff like this. Otherwise, you go over the possibilities of what you really need to be scared of. If you think you're scared, say it out loud and make sure that that's a legitimate fear. A lot of times we feel scared, you know, the hair stand up on our arm, we have a little thought and it feels bad and we just cut it off and we drink some alcohol, you know, or we go out and do something that distracts us. But what are you really afraid of? Say it out loud, okay? And then what can you do about it? If there's nothing you can do about it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and if there's something you can, go do it. One thing I can just definitely see is just delete your social media accounts. It's not that hard, is it? If it is, there might be a problem. Those things get addicting, right? And we should have a social life on our own, off of social media, with people around us. We should have interests we're pursuing. We should be going to school or working or taking care of our children and stuff like this. So really, I don't know who has much time for social media. It's always more important things you could be doing with your time instead of investing it with people you don't know. And if you're investing it with people you do know on social media, just do it on your phone or see them or talk to them or video them, stuff like that. Real simple, okay? You can also get a lawyer to write this person a letter that's cease and desist, meaning you do not talk about me, you do not approach me, contact me, nothing. Or I sue you, or I pursue criminal charges, harassment, okay? Cease and desist letter quite often isn't very expensive either. And it almost doesn't even matter what kind of lawyer writes it. If you have a friend that's a lawyer, have them write one, okay? Thank you. Keep asking questions. Deb from England. The last time I had contact with my ex-narc, I was trying to get away from him in my car. He jumped on my front of my car, but what really scared me was his eyes went to one side. It was as if he'd gone out of his body. What was that? What was that? I'm 3 years out, found out about narcs from your channel, and I've watched every one of your videos, which is a lot. You saved my life. Thank you. That is a lot. So like 700 videos. Thank you, Deb. Well, you know, I'm not a doctor, and what it sounds like you're describing is a type of rage. Really, I mean, he could be dissociating. He could have started to dissociate, kind of slipped out of his mind, kind of. And this also could be a form of psychosis, right? Borderlines and other people with personality disorders may slip into psychosis. They might be so neurotic that eventually they cross that line of psychosis. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a psychotic person, but they can cross the line of psychosis and come back. They might rage and just go totally crazy and don't remember anything. They can commit some nasty, heinous crimes, murder, and not even remember. Which I still don't doubt when they say that they don't remember anything of it. But yeah, it sounds like he's dissociating, a rage-induced, dissociated psychosis without being a doctor. Just guessing. That's what I think. Let me know what you think, Deb. And stay away from someone that dangerous, huh? Lawrence says magnesium is a great relaxer. It is. It is. And, you know, it's a mineral we need in our body. So if it feels that good when you take it, that shows you how low you are, right? Ken says, besides your informative videos, you answering people's questions about abuse give many more the information they need to understand and heal. Good stuff. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you. Thank you. And Jeffy. No, that's but your name is Lorraine, Virginia. Hi. Dave, tell me a narcissist baiting and provoked reaction. What the difference? And it's David. Thank you. So I wrote down here, they're pretty much the same thing. If you have more examples, give them to me. Okay. But ask me a more detailed question if you want a more detailed response. But narcissistic baiting is provoking a desired reaction, right? The very common one is pokey, 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 till you lose it, and then they go, oh, you're crazy. That is the absolute thing that narcissists do in smear campaigns. I had someone a lot of you know and are aware of. I had a very, very, very sick woman in England smear me and attack me, going on 3.5 years now. And I didn't even really know her. She asked me for some help with her channel. I gave her the help, and then I realized she was sick as hell, and I stopped helping her. And she has just been, I mean, just nasty, making up all kinds of accusations, making up fake people, supposedly from my past that I've never heard of. And I found out who these people are and how she faked them. But she was constantly provoking me to defend myself and start a fight. You know, no, I don't do that. No, that's made up. No, and then she wants a fight. That's what she wants. So I didn't. I never did a single thing. This is the most I talked about it. Never say who the person is, never bring it up, never talk about it. So after 3.5 years, she finally gave up, and now she's doing it to somebody else. Thank God. Sorry for that person. It's your turn. I'm done. 3.5 years. And it was just, I mean, anything she could think of. She would talk to the camera. She made over 50 videos, just crazy as hell, but not really crazy, just disordered. And was just constantly baiting me, constantly provoking me just to get a fight. And that's what these people want. When they're smearing you, they want to fight. Smear campaign means they can't control you, so they're trying to control your environment, your people around you, get everyone to hate you, stuff like this. She couldn't abuse me anymore. She wanted other people to abuse me. It's just sick. It's just sick. And if they get nothing from it, eventually, even the obsessed person with no life like her, 3.5 years, eventually gives up. Now, really stopped? Probably not. Probably we will continue in the next few months and go another 3 years. But at least I'm not doing anything. She has 50 videos in a playlist all about me, making videos about me, saying, this is him smearing me. Cuckoo. No, it's not. Show me one of my videos that I'm doing it. Can't. Crazy stuff. But just baiting and provoking, trying to get a desired reaction. And a smear campaign is the most obvious. You're telling people stuff about this person so that it gets back to them, so that they hate them, so that they ask them, so that they fire them, so that they stop being their friends, all these things, right? And it's just trying to get a desired reaction because they can't get it from you anymore. Rory. Hi, Rory. Ignoring real conversation with your family so you can be on social media makes me sick. I tell them and they laugh at me. They act like they're listening, but they are totally into their phone. Stop. Don't let them do it anymore. You can't control them, right? And we have to accept people for who they are, but you don't have to accept this in your life, Rory. I hope you don't.